Number one, it's the biggest part of the crash. Most people don't own that much in financial assets like stocks, in their 401k plan. They own some. Everybody owns real estate in the United States. Everybody that can afford to does. So when real estate goes down...
Millennials don't. That's been part of the problem. They can't afford a home.
Well, they're the winners here. The millennials are going to kiss the ground when this happens, what I'm saying, because real estate will go back down to 2008 to 2012 levels, the lows we saw after the last crash. And remember, stocks crash quick. Real estate took years to hit a bottom, really mostly 2010 to 12. Real estate will go down at least to those levels and become affordable to the millennials for the first time in their lives. They're the winners. Guess who the losers are? People like me, baby boomers who've invested in real estate and keep saying you can't go wrong buying real estate, own real estate, and real estate goes down. Now, last time, 34%. Even the Great Depression, 26%. This is the biggest decline. This will be 40 to 50% real estate. We've never seen that before. That'll be a shock.
Is there any development or scenario that will make you reconsider your forecast?
No. What you have to, once you get a bubble, it has to deflate, and bubbles never deflate slowly. Everybody says we can have a soft landing. There is no soft landing anywhere in history to a major bubble, but it can be deferred a bit and then come down later. So I will not be happy and say people invest again until I see this bubble deflate. And I have my targets in stocks, in real estate, and I have all my targets. If we get to these targets in the next few years, I'll say you can invest for the long term again. Right now, if you are invested in financial assets, you are going to lose a lot of money, I think, in the next 2 years.
All right, so as we wrap up, I'm sure our viewers would like to know what your targets are for those particular assets.
Okay. I think the S&P 500 brought in, it's going to go down 86%. That's right. 670. It's been up to almost like 4,800 at the top, okay? Real estate down 40 to 50%. Last time it was 34%. This is what hits people the most. When their home goes down in value and they're underwater in their own home and can't even borrow against their own equity. So that's my focus. And commodities go down even lower. And gold goes to about 900 to 1,000 in the crash and then zooms in the next boom.
And when all of those low targets are met, that's when you're saying it's safe to jump back into the water.
Only when things get back to reality, which they are nowhere near. So everybody thinks, well, the Fed keeps doing this. No, we're in a bubble that's already so extended. There's nothing the Fed can do except extend this a little longer. The only way to get back to normal is to have a crash. There's no other way to get there.
Harry, how are you positioned right now then?
Treasury bonds.
Just Treasury bonds?
Just Treasury bonds. Now, normally, in good times, you diversify in, these risk assets, stocks, bonds, and real estate stuff. In this, there's only one thing, everything. Again, my statement is, without any qualifications, this is the greatest financial asset bubble globally in all of history, and it has to come down, so all financial assets come down except the very safest, which is only the Treasury bonds of the best governments, and especially bad house and a good house in a bad neighborhood, the U.S. Treasury bonds, the only place I'd put money. Otherwise, and if you're too scared to do that, just be in cash. Just go to cash. Everything will come down and your cash will buy more of all financial assets. But I like the Treasury bonds. They go up. In 2008, they went up.
All right. So cash or U.S. Treasury bonds is your best advice to ride out what is going to be the ugliest equity crash.
And if it doesn't happen by the end of 2023, then I'll shut up.
Okay.
That's the end of my bad cycles where it's most likely to happen.
So if this doesn't happen by 2023...
you will never hear from me again.
That'll be interesting. We like hearing from you, but at the same time, don't really necessarily want you to be right. But at least we're giving our viewers the tools to protect and prepare themselves for that scenario. But again, as I always say, Harry, I applaud you for putting your neck out there with specific timelines. Thank you for giving us your time.